The sky split open, with dazzling, shifting colors, as colossal Zalanathian ships descended through Earth's atmosphere. Towering over cities and casting dark shadows over fields, their silver hulls pulsed with an eerie blue glow. Inside each ship, the Zalanathians, the self-proclaimed masters of the universe, prepared to make their grand entrance. For centuries, the Zalanathians had swept across galaxies, effortlessly subjugating countless civilizations. With advanced technology and psychic abilities, they believed themselves unstoppable, the rightful rulers of all existence. Now, Earth was simply the next planet in line to join their cosmic empire. The leader of the invasion, High Commander Zorak, stood tall before his crew, his sharp features twisting into a smirk of satisfaction. "Transmit the message to all Earth's inhabitants," he ordered. The message echoed across every device on Earth. Televisions, radios, and phone screens flickered with the booming voice of the High Commander. "People of Earth, I am High Commander Zorak of the Zalanathian Empire. Today marks the dawn of a new age under our rule. We offer you a choice. Submit peacefully, and you will be spared the destruction that has befallen those who resist it. Defy us, and you will suffer the full might of our power. Surrender now, and know your place in the universe." Zorak folded his arms, expecting panic, chaos, and desperate pleas for mercy from the humans. After all, every species they had ever encountered before had crumbled with this same speech. But what followed was silence. Then, minutes later, the first messages from Earth's governments began to trickle in. Confusion rather than fear filled their replies. Human leaders didn't surrender or plead for their lives. They asked questions. They requested details, clarification, even scientific explanations of Zalanathian technology. "We don't understand your intentions," a voice said from one of Earth's communication channels. "Are you here to share knowledge? To assist with humanity's development?" High Commander Zorak's smug expression faded into irritation. "Share knowledge," he spat, watching the transmissions with disbelief. "Do they think we are here as teachers?" The other Zalanathians exchanged looks of dismay and confusion, puzzled by the humans' complete lack of terror. Determined to rectify this bizarre misunderstanding, Zorak and his crew decided to go for a show of force. They would have to remind these insolent creatures just how vastly inferior they truly were. Hovering over New York City, the Zalanathian ships activated their gravity manipulation fields, casting a shimmering aura across the skyline. Within moments, iconic buildings began to tremble, then rose slowly into the air. Skyscrapers drifted off the ground, hovering eerily as people watched from below. Cars floated gently in midair, defying physics in an incredible display of alien strength. Zorak watched the screens in his ship, anticipating cries of horror from the humans on the ground. But he was met instead with curious faces, staring up at the sky. Humans were indeed watching with wide eyes, but the terror was absent. Some even pulled out phones to record, while others pointed in awe. Some were annoyed, more concerned about their daily routines than the levitating skyline. Confused by the unexpected reaction, Zorak intensified the gravity field, causing the buildings to sway and rotate in the air. Yet humans remained as calm as ever. "What is wrong with them?" Zorak muttered to himself, watching a group of onlookers who appeared more interested in getting the perfect shot on their phones than cowering in fear. In frustration, he decided to take things up a notch, targeting a small, uninhabited island far from civilization. The Zalanathians unleashed their most powerful weapon, a beam of pure energy capable of vaporizing any structure in its path. The island exploded in a brilliant flash, leaving nothing but a charred crater in the ocean. Finally, Zorak thought, that will get their attention. But instead of mass hysteria, humans once again responded with calm curiosity. Earth's media aired endless broadcasts featuring scientists and engineers analyzing the alien weapon's energy source, wondering aloud about the scientific principles behind it. They speculated about its power requirements, design, and possible weaknesses, all while treating the entire spectacle like a large-scale science experiment, rather than a threat to humanity's survival. Then Zorak and his crew watched in stunned silence as a human scientist appeared on screen with a smirk. "Well, it's certainly powerful," she said, "but it's also wildly inefficient. If they think that's enough to frighten us, they're in for a surprise. Zorak felt his fists clench. How could these primitive creatures react to his show of force with such audacity? He couldn't fathom why they didn't seem afraid or even humbled. Frustrated, he summoned his advisors to devise a new strategy. The humans didn't seem to understand the power they were up against. But that would change, Zorak vowed. The Zalanathians would find a way to bring humanity to its knees, no matter what it took. Frustrated and increasingly desperate, High Commander Zorak and his advisors devised a new strategy. If humanity would not submit to their displays of technological power, perhaps a direct physical confrontation would break their spirit. The Zalanathians were not only masters of technology, but also a warrior race, trained from birth in combat. In all their conquests, their elite warriors had never met a worthy adversary. With a smug smile, Zorak issued a worldwide challenge. Every broadcast, social media feed, and news outlet echoed his words. Humans, if you truly believe yourselves strong, prove it. We invite your greatest fighters to face our Zalanathian warriors in battle. Let us demonstrate the futility of resistance and establish, once and for all, our rightful place as your rulers. The invitation was met with excitement rather than terror. All over Earth, fighters, athletes, and military personnel volunteered eagerly, treating the challenge more like a rare opportunity than a matter of life or death. News stations started reporting on the upcoming contests, as if it were an international sporting event. Analysts and commentators discussed strategies, debating which human fighters had the best chance against the aliens. When the day of the battles arrived, the Zalanathian fighters took their places in a grand arena created by their ships, set up over one of Earth's vast deserts. Human spectators watched from a safe distance as the first human challengers stepped into the arena with bravado, meeting the aliens with confident grins. The Zalanathian warriors fought with their customary intensity, moving at lightning speed and with lethal precision, easily overpowering the human fighters. To the aliens, each human that fell was further proof of Zalanathian superiority. But instead of despairing, the humans watching in the crowd cheered for their fallen fighters, applauding their bravery and resilience. Earth's audience laughed at the spectacle, admiring the alien fighters' fancy moves, and discussing them as if they were analyzing a competitive sports match. Even the human fighters in the arena rose to their feet with defiant smiles after each defeat, saluting their Zalanathian opponents. A few even offered the aliens congratulatory handshakes, an act the Zalanathians found both baffling and infuriating. As each battle ended, Zorak felt the grip of frustration tighten around his heart. These humans were supposed to be trembling before him, broken by the overwhelming skill of his warriors. But instead, they seemed to enjoy the contest, treating each defeat as just another lesson, another reason to analyze and adapt. Every display of Zalanathian superiority was met with a spirit of resilience that Zorak couldn't comprehend. Desperate for answers, he retreated to his command post, confounded by the humans' unfathomable courage. Why didn't these humans understand that they were defeated, realizing that their physical and technological displays had failed to subdue the humans? The Zalanathians decided on a more severe approach. It was time to bring Earth to a standstill, to sever the humans' basic comforts and see how they fared in darkness. Zorak ordered his fleet to shut down Earth's major power grids, plunging cities worldwide into silence and darkness. Across the planet, lights flickered off, communication networks failed, and devices went dead. The Zalanathians watched eagerly from above, expecting panic and chaos as humanity fell to its knees. But what they witnessed was far from what they expected. As the darkness settled, people gathered around candlelight, huddled in groups on city streets, exchanging stories and food. Families built fires and told tales under starlit skies. In neighborhoods and communities, people came together, checking on each other's well-being and even organizing impromptu gatherings. Musicians took out acoustic guitars, friends played games, and children laughed, treating the blackout as a temporary adventure rather than an omen of doom. Human engineers and scientists, unfazed by the sudden loss of power, began diagnosing the cause and brainstorming solutions. On social media, which was still available through some emergency networks, people shared tips on staying warm, conserving food, and supporting each other. The Zalanathian command center was filled with stunned silence, as Zorak and his advisors watched Earth's people adapt with resilience and even joy. Some humans treated the blackout as a minor inconvenience, while others welcomed the chance to spend time together without distractions. It wasn't long before local power systems were back online in some areas, as human engineers worked tirelessly to restore the networks. Even more perplexing to Zorak were the humans on television and social media who made light of the situation. Memes flooded the internet, joking about how the space overlords needed a better plan if they wanted to keep Earth down. People mocked the aliens' attempt, turning what was meant to be an intimidating gesture into a source of humor. Back aboard his flagship, Zorak C, his supreme strategy had not only failed, had backfired, making humans appear even stronger in their unity and adaptability. For the first time, he felt a twinge of doubt. Maybe humanity's strength didn't lie in their technology, weapons, or brute force. Instead, it seemed rooted in their collective resilience, an ability to overcome and laugh in the face of adversity. As he gazed down at Earth, watching the flickers of light returning to the cities, Zorak realized that humanity possessed a form of strength he and his kind might never understand. For Earth, as the ships began to withdraw, Carix watched the retreat from the command center, his mind lingering on what he had learned in this doomed invasion. They had arrived expecting to meet flesh and blood, but they had encountered something far stronger: human spirit. On the ground, the humans cheered as the ships took to the skies, their beams of light fading into the atmosphere as the Xylar Armada withdrew. Across continents, cities, and towns, celebrations erupted, not out of hatred or vengeance, but from sheer relief and unity. People embraced, grateful for each other, proud of what they had endured and what they had proven. They had faced a technologically superior enemy and stood their ground, relying on nothing more than their raw human resilience. Carix, however, knew this wasn't simply a defeat. It was an awakening. He had witnessed an unstoppable force, the power of humanity's connection, forged not from machines, but from shared purpose and loyalty. For all the advancements his species had achieved, they had forgotten what truly made being strong. He would return to his empire, not just as a general who failed to conquer a planet, but as a messenger of an indomitable truth. There were forces in the universe that no machine could rival. As Kyrix's ship sped back toward the stars, he looked one last time at Earth, filled with a newfound respect. He knew that he would tell the story of humanity, a species that didn't need steel or circuits to become warriors, a species whose greatest weapon was their unbreakable spirit. High Commander Zorak, now grappling with a profound sense of failure, called for an unprecedented meeting with human leaders. He needed answers that no amount of force, intimidation, or technology had been able to provide. Humanity had resisted him in a way he couldn't quantify or control, and the Zalanathian Empire's reputation as conquerors was on the line. The meeting took place aboard a neutral vessel in Earth's orbit, with representatives from various countries beamed in via hologram. Zorak, usually commanding and composed, found himself facing these human leaders with something unthinkable. His voice was measured, almost uncertain, as he began. "Humans," he said, struggling to maintain the authority he had once so easily wielded, "we came to this planet to show you your place, to reveal your weaknesses and guide you to your inevitable submission. Yet, at every turn, you have defied us not through might or weaponry, but something else. What is it that makes you so resistant, so unyielding? Why do you not fear us?" The leaders exchanged looks, some smirking, others thoughtful. Finally, a human scientist from one of the Earth delegations leaned forward, speaking with calm but determined words. "Commander Zorak," she began, "your kind assumes strength is defined by conquest, by who has the greatest weapon or the most impressive technology. But humans have faced countless challenges, wars, natural disasters, economic hardships, even threats from within. We've learned to adapt and rebuild. To us, strength isn't about overwhelming force, but about resilience, unity, and finding humor in even the darkest times. Your power doesn't frighten us because it's external. True strength comes from within." Another representative, a military officer, nodded in agreement. "We don't see the world as something to conquer. We see it as something to protect, to grow. And when we come together, we become stronger than any individual could be." That's why your efforts to scare us or break us will always fall short. Zorak stared, the weight of their words beginning to sink in. In Zalanathian society, strength and unity were enforced through hierarchy, fear, and obedience. But humans chose to unite in a way he had never seen, to rise above fear, finding strength in each other. Even now, they spoke without fear, not with defiance, but with a confidence that didn't require domination. He had believed that as an advanced race, the Zalanathians had nothing to learn from such a primitive civilization. Yet, faced with humanity's unwavering spirit, he began to question everything he had ever known. What if power wasn't meant to be about control? What if unity was strongest when chosen, not forced? The silence grew heavy as Zorak processed this revelation. Finally, he spoke, his tone carrying a rare gentleness. Perhaps we have misjudged you. In all our years, we have never encountered a species so resilient, so resistant to fear. We thought ourselves the master race, yet you have shown us something we cannot conquer. The human leaders watched as the once immovable commander's expression softened with realization. In that moment, the divide between conqueror and conquered began to fade. Zorak turned to his advisors and issued a simple order. Stand down. Return our people to the ship. The Zalanathian ships, once symbols of terror, lifted back into the sky. For the first time in their empire's history, they departed not as conquerors, but as humbled observers, departing Earth with an unspoken promise to return with respect. As the alien fleet disappeared into the stars, humanity celebrated not with victory parades or boasts, but by simply returning to their lives, stronger for the experience. They had faced what should have been an unstoppable force, and, through unity and resilience, had become an even stronger species than before. And in the silence of space, High Commander Zorak reflected on all he had seen, humbled by the knowledge that perhaps the Zalanathians' true strength might lie in learning from the one species that had shown them the limits of power. Humanity,